Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert's Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. 2014 WWE Hell in a Cell preview coming live to you this Sunday on the WWE Network. Not much at all to talk about on this card. A couple matches I'm looking forward to, but overall, I mean, WWE is just really sad in their cards right now for pay-per-views. It's just, I mean, obviously no world title on the line on this pay-per-view. What it seems to me is with the WWE Network, WWE's already got their money for these pay-per-views, so why put any effort into it? They're going to put effort into it, right before the subscription has to be renewed, so everybody, they crap on it right now, but come January, Royal Rumble time, the lead to WrestleMania, and oh yeah, subscriptions are due again in what, February? So there you go. You make a really good Royal Rumble. You build it up from there so you get people to buy it. And when it comes to this kind of crap, oh well, we already got paid for it. We don't care. Like I said, not all the matches are horrible. This first one, Bella versus Bella, Nikki versus Brie. Really? I mean, the loser has to be the winner's personal assistant for 1 month. If they don't do that, they are made to quit the WWE. Really? Okay. This means one of two things. This means they have nothing better to do for a Divas match than put this garbage on a card, or truly one of the Bellas is going to be leaving, so this is their way of making them leave. Okay, maybe Brie's leaving, so Nikki will win, and that's what, I'm actually thinking Brie's going to win this because Nikki's got Stephanie in her corner, and Nikki's supposed to be the better Bella and all this, and Nikki's poor Nikki, and, Brie mode and all this. I could really care less about this match. They just needed a filler for this match because there's no world champion on this card. But I'm taking Brie to win. I think Nikki will be her personal assistant for a month, and then at Survivor Series live in St. Louis, which I will be attending. I guess we get it again. I don't know. Yeah, bad. Next, we have the Divas title on the line. 4 months in a row. Paige versus AJ. AJ's got the title. I don't know what they're trying to do with Paige and AJ. It's kind of reminding me a little bit of Mickey and Trish back in the Attitude Era. Attitude Era. Wow, my slip. Back in, 05, 06, 07, somewhere in there. I don't remember every feud every year. I don't know the little details like that because I just kind of watch wrestling just to enjoy it, not to remember every stat about everything. But it's just, Paige trying to be like AJ. It's like, I mean, come on, guys. I mean, the Raw and SmackDown are so bad, I don't even watch them. I mean, occasionally I'll flip through them and watch a little bit, but it's like I watch promos, that's about it. The only promo I really watched was Cena and Orton, and a little bit of the Rollins and Ambrose stuff. But other than that, I haven't really actually watched wrestling since the last pay-per-view. So I'm picking AJ to retain. There's no reason, 4 times in a row. Why not? I mean, fourth match in a row. WWE has lost her in their Divas division. I mean, back in the day when you had a Trish and a Mickey and a Lita and all that stuff, and just the athletic ability that Lita and Trish had in that feud they had, this feud could be there, but you have to do more with it. You have to get away from the gay shit and homosexual stuff and actually concentrate on the ability of these two and maybe add somebody in it, like an Natalia who has talent. In the last 12 months, they've only been like six or 7 times has been AJ or Paige as champion. Let in Natalia get in. Natalia's had 2 title matches in a year. Really? I mean, Brie Bella's had Nikki Bella's had more title matches in the last year than Natalia. Natalia's got more talent than any of them. Do something with that. Bring up Charlotte, Ric Flair's daughter from NXT. Her and Natalia had a match on NXT a few months back that was really good. They both have talent. I mean, these ladies have talent, don't get me wrong. It's just when you keep every month regurgitating it, it just gets old. It's really old. AJ will retain. Big Show versus Rusev. If anybody can come in and beat the Russian, it's going to be somebody like Big Show. Just one punch knockout, Big Show wins. Yeah, it's not going to happen that way. Really? I mean, it's just kind of stupid, you know. I get the heat. I get what they're trying to do with Rusev, but it's not really coming over like Bret Hart, you know, saying the United States sucked when, you know, he was, you know, representing Canada. Now Bret Hart blowing his nose on the American flag. It doesn't have the same luster now than it did 20 years ago, especially with Russia. If you would have done this angle with Russia in the 80s, oh my God, that would have been crazy heat. But in 2014, you're not getting that heat, and it just needs to end. Rusev needs to go away. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just a waste of bodies on a pay-per-view card. I got Rusev winning it. U.S. title, Sheamus versus The Miz. You know, The Miz's sidekick, Damien Sandow. This is as bad as when Daniel Bryan was trained by The Miz on the, you know, what, first NXT or second NXT year. This is how bad this is. Because Damien Sandow can wrestle circles around The Miz. Just calling him Damien Miz that really? I mean, come on. What Sandow needs to do is just fucking turn on Miz, cost him the title versus Sheamus, and do Sheamus and Sandow. I'll be good with that. You know, Sheamus, he's just that, you know, kind of mid-card type of worker that, you know, he's had a, you know, chance to be a world champion. You know, he built himself up versus Cena in that tables match like I've talked about before. And he's just kind of there. He's kind of one of those guys, you know, go out, he'll put a pretty decent match on. It's not going to be no 5-star match, but it's not going to suck. It's going to be middle 2.5, 3-star match. Enough, you know, 10, 15 minutes. He'll put on a pretty good match. It'll look good. You know, he'll get the win and move on. So check out Sheamus retaining the U.S. title. One of the matches, one of 2 matches I'm looking forward to. 2 out of 3 fall Intercontinental title. Champion Dolph Ziggler versus Cesaro. I really like both these guys. I know they really haven't done much to build a match like this because typically you have a lot of in-ring stuff going on, and you put on a 2 out of 3 falls type gimmick on it. That's more of a second, third, fourth match in a series or a feud. Well, this has been backstage, I guess. Like I said, I haven't been watching wrestling since the last pay-per-view, so I don't know. I mean, I didn't even see The Rock come back, to be honest with you. I didn't care The Rock came back. I don't like The Rock in 2014. Not at all. I mean, whatever, you know, each their own, right? You know, everybody has their own way to do things. And I personally don't like The Rock, but you guys out there, and you two land me love The Rock. That's fine and dandy, you know. Back in, you know, mid-90s, late 90s, early 2000s, The Rock was the man. Now, not really. Anyway, Dolph Ziggler champion versus Cesaro, 2 out of 3 falls. I actually want Cesaro to win this. What I see can go down is Cesaro wins the first fall, Ziggler wins the second fall. And then that way, everybody thinks, oh, Ziggler's going to win 2 falls in a row to win it, blah, blah, blah. Have Cesaro win it, you know. And just kind of, I think it would shock everybody having a guy like Cesaro, you know, that's from Switzerland, from Europe, being the Intercontinental Champion, which is perfect fitting for him. Let him have a long run with it. You know, since obviously your world champion is going to be out until Royal Rumble, it looks like, because he can't wrestle. Have this be your main event type of match. You know, have a IC title on a Cesaro and main event it at, you know, Survivor Series or TLC. Maybe even a TLC match with these guys. You know, that would be awesome. You know, main event TLC, Ziggler versus Cesaro for the Intercontinental Championship. I'd watch it. I'd watch that in a heartbeat. It'd be good. This match is going to be good. It may actually steal a show. I know everybody's looking forward to those 2 Hell in a Cell matches, but I think this is going to be a really, really fine, well done match by 2 guys who can go out and bring it. This is Cesaro and Ziggler's chance to shine because there is no world title on this card. We had the tag. I got Cesaro winning that 2 out of 3 falls and becoming an Intercontinental Champion. Tag titles, we had champion Stardust, Goldust versus the Usos. This feud started a few months ago, obviously, you know, breathing some light into the tag division that's really been horrible in WWE since probably early 2000s. I mean, back in the, you know, late 2000, you know, late 99 or late 90s, early 2000s, they had, you know, triple threats of, you know, Edge and Christian and Dudleys and Hardys, and, you know, obviously Jeff Hardy went on to do things as singles, and Edge and Christian kind of did things as singles, and Hardy and the Dudleys moved on, and They've never really brought back that era of tag teams they had, WWE had and WCW had back in the '90s. I think with these two teams, this is a good start. Obviously, there's a lot of young talent down in NXT that needs to have time to develop in NXT and shine. I know, if you've ever watched the independent circuit, there was in Ring of Honor, there was a tag team, Kevin Steen and El Generico. Both of them guys are on NXT right now. Tag them, make them guys a tag team again, and really bring in more young, Sin Cara, and there's another high flyer down there teaming with Sin Cara. I can't think of their names right now. Just have them guys come up, add to this tag division, add to these guys. The Usos, they're bigger guys, yeah, but they can fly. They can do a lot of good moves, a lot of interesting things in the ring. I actually see them wanting to carry this feud on a little bit. I see Usos winning the titles here. I know it's like giving candy out, flipping the titles back and forth, but that's what WWE is nowadays. Here in 2014, it's not about a champion being a champion for 424 days. It's not about that anymore. It's not about a champion being a champion for 2, 3, 4, 5 months, years in a row. It's about what are the people's attention spans these days are like this. Used to it was like this. You could sit there and watch, a feud develop over a year. Now it's like boom, 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 boom. Everybody wants things now. Pick your iPhone up, you get internet now. TV now. You want, YouTube now. You want all this stuff. YouTube on the go on your phone. How many people can be going somewhere, sitting at dinner on their phone on YouTube, watching the video, Facebook, and all this stuff, texting and emails, and everything's on your phone. Everything's go, go, go. Fast food restaurants, go, 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 go. Nobody sits down at home and eats dinner at a kitchen table anymore. It's all go, 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 go. That's what WWE's trying to pander toward is people's attention spans. Give to them. Back and forth, it gets people's mind moving around. People don't want to wait for a year or 6 months for a feud to build up to something big that they would have, 20 years ago. So I got the Usos winning this and once again becoming tag team champions. We got the first of 2 Hell in a Cell matches. We got the #1 contender, Hell in a Cell. We got Randy Orton versus John Cena. I know, once again, Randy and Cena, it's kind of like when WWE is lost with ideas, they're like, let's start Cena and Orton together. They have good chemistry. They've, both have been around for, 13 years. They know each other. They know how to bring good out of each other. They've had WrestleMania and same as this is their second Hell in a Cell match. They've had ladder matches. They've had they've had every type of match you can think of. And they've all been fairly good. Like I've said before about John Cena, he has to wrestle somebody that's talented like a Randy Orton, who can pull that out of him. When Randy's leading this match, he can pull good out of John Cena. He can make it a good, legit kind of, #1 contender, like who's going to win, an RKO or, a attitude adjustment, back and forth, and you won't know. It's not like when you're wrestling a tree and you know who's going to win. This match, you don't know who's going to win. You don't know what WWE wants to do. Is Randy going to win? They're going to freshen it up. Randy versus Brock Lesnar at Royal Rumble. Be interesting. I'd like to see that. Are we going to have Cena win this and do Cena versus Brock Lesnar at Royal Rumble? Don't want to see that again. We've seen it 3 times already. I mean, why would the hell would we want to see it again? Is Randy past his I'm a world champion phase? Does Triple H not believe him anymore? Would it make sense? I mean, different scenarios make sense. And WWE right now is just so far, it's like they take a dart, fling it against the wall, and go, that's the next big idea. You bring back Brock Lesnar, you bring back The Rock. I mean, The Rock and Rusev in a promo on Raw? Really? I mean, come on, guys. WWE, create a team. You're smarter than this, I thought. But this card reminds me of something Vince Russo would do. You got the Brie and Nikki thing that reminds me of a midget masturbating in a trash can on a pole. Or the contract on a pole match on Raw with Ambrose and Cena for this match. WWE, that's not what you should have done here. What you should have done with these 2 Hell in a Cell matches. Let me cover the other one first, and then I'll tell you what I would have done. So Randy and Cena, a lot of their feud from '09 was really good between those two. It was kind of like Rock Cena type, or Rock Cena. Whoa, my bad. Rock Austin. Um, Even Rock Cena. I mean, just those three or two, once in a lifetime matches. Anyway, Rock and Austin. WrestleMania 15, 17, 19, and just the whole, 3 to 5 years. Those two guys were on top of the business, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's a lot of what '09 Randy and Cena was. There's a lot of good stuff going on then. A lot of both of them were in their top of their prime at the time. And Cena went on to become a 15-time champion. Orton's a little behind him at a 12-time champion, but it's like WWE doesn't want Randy in the spotlight anymore. I don't understand it. But I see Cena winning this. I see them redoing the whole thing. Cena Lesnar at Royal Rumble. And I keep saying that because I heard a lot of things that Lesnar will be off TV for the rest of the year. They'll probably just have Heyman come out and do shit and get RKO'd and attitudes us, whatever whatever they do to him. Kind of instead of having Lesnar out there because his appearance-based contract, whatever. I guess it's above my pay grade, above my mindset to understand that. The match that probably should be main event because it does have history. It does have, friend versus foe. It has guys that were like close as brothers in the Shield. Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. I mean, obviously over the years, these guys wrestled a little bit on the indie circuit. Both these guys had just fantastic careers on the indie circuit. Finally, you've seen this feud all summer. One pay-per-view, they're supposed to fight, they don't, then they brawl. Makes sense. They've had matches. It's like everything led to, even the Pro Wrestling Pulse guys watching the pay-per-view in J-Man's basement. We all said over the summer, it's like, okay, this is leading to Hell in a Cell. This is going to be Hell in a Cell match. I mean, we knew it months ago. So it's like, you finally, get, the poster comes out and you see Dean Ambrose in the cage, that just, vindictive look and I'm going to kill you type look. And then on Raw, having, Mankind, Mick Foley come out. One of the top Hell in a Cell guys of all time talking about Hell in a Cell, talking about them two out there. And it just really made you get, goosebumps over this match, what this could do for both of these guys. Hopefully it'll main event. If it doesn't main event, and then the other one in Randy and Cena main event, oh well, this could be the match of the card because of the feud and stuff. But on the other hand, it could also be a horrible match. No one's thought about this yet. It could be horrible. It could be garbage. Kane and Authority getting involved, and can you imagine, Kane coming out from underneath the ring. Say this match leads off the card. Have Kane under the ring. As soon as the door shuts, Kane comes out. They handcuff Ambrose to the ropes, and just annihilate the hell out of him. And we all go, we were so psyched for this match, and now it's garbage. WWE's done dumber things. I actually think Ambrose will win this to keep the feud going. I think with Seth having that Money in the Bank briefcase, what they could do is that Survivor Series, they always have that traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. Team Rollins versus Team Ambrose. And then they could go on to TLC, and since they're not going to have a world title on the line, maybe do a TLC match with the briefcase. Ambrose versus Rollins. Have Rollins obviously win it, keep that briefcase. Or even what's wrong with having Ambrose win it, Ambrose take the briefcase and cash it in. Ambrose is a little crazy. Maybe he wants to change it up a little bit, Then you don't have Seth losing the world title when he cashes in the briefcase. Have an Ambrose cash in and do Ambrose and Rollins for the title. Really keep this feud going. Keep it like you would have done 20 years ago. Have a feud go a year. I mean, come on, guys. It's not that far-fetched having a feud stretch out, Maybe have your main event at WrestleMania coming up instead of doing your whole Roman Reigns and Lesnar shit. Why not have Ambrose versus Seth Rollins, and if he's healthy, versus Daniel Bryan? Has anyone even thought of this? I mean, who would not just go crazy over that main event at WrestleMania? I mean, really, guys? Have these guys keep feuding? Have Daniel Bryan return at Royal Rumble, win the Rumble? and then just have it Chamber, maybe have Rollins take the title back at Chamber, and just that way you get Ambrose gets his rematch. Daniel Bryan won the Royal Rumble, instant indie feud. They got history. You want to go back beyond WWE history? There is historical war between Daniel Bryan and Seth Rollins, and a little indie stuff with Dean Ambrose. I mean, WWE, it's right there for you. You know what I would have done different on the. And I got Ambrose winning that. Hopefully, going on to something bigger and better. Actually, having watchable WWE TV for a while. What I would have done different on these two Hell in Cells is I would have had it, have two matches, two Hell in a Cell matches to start the pay-per-view. Have one, Dean Ambrose versus John Cena versus Seth Rollins. The other one being Randy versus Dean Ambrose. The winner of those two would match up for the number one contender. So yeah, you're going to have two guys wrestling twice in a card, but you have some, Ambrose and Orton have been really good, and Cena and Rollins have been pretty good. Cena wanted Rollins. You give everybody a taste of different things. Yeah, you might still have Randy and Cena win it and go on to the number one contender, but you at least give the young guys, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, a shot. Maybe they both win, and this was a number one contender match. I mean, you got to develop your stars. You've got to develop younger guys, because when Cena retires and Rock retires, or when Cena retires and Orton, you can't keep bringing back The Rock. You can't keep bringing back guys from the past as your world champion like you currently do with Brock Lesnar. Just my thought. Another thought I had, another thing I was looking up is WWE used to have a rule, 30-day rule. If you couldn't defend your title in 30 days, you got stripped of it. I'm guessing it just depends on what mood they're in. I remember tag team Air Boom, Evan Bourne and Kofi Kingston. Evan Bourne got suspended for drugs. They didn't defend the tag titles within 30 days. They didn't get stripped. But I can remember going back years ago when people get hurt, they got stripped of the title. I don't understand why they just pick and choose that. I know it was kind of an unofficial official rule,